Okay. I'm Cardinal Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Jett, and we were speaking about Solomon and Adonijah. Now let's talk about Solomon and Bathsheba in the same situation. We're coming from First Kings chapter 2. God bless me. And in this episode, in these scriptures, Solomon's mother, Bathsheba, was approached by his brother Adonijah to ask for a certain woman. And Solomon became upset about it. So we spoke about that already. Let's talk about Solomon and Bathsheba, the interaction between them. When Bathsheba went to Solomon, she said, I have a request. Please hear me out. And Solomon agreed. And she put forth the petition that Solomon's brother had asked her to address with her son, Solomon, asking for a woman, a Shunammite woman, Abishag. And Solomon's response was of sarcasm and disdain. Well, why don't you just ask for my kingdom? He's my older brother. So first of all, it sounds like Solomon felt disrespected by his mother. Of all people, she should know and understand that, first of all, this brother of his, who had a different mother, though they had the same father, King David, who was now sleeping with his fathers, resting, he had died, was an older child of David. And Solomon, being the younger son, had received the kingdom, had been given the kingdom by God. And so that was enough slack to deal with, especially when everyone presumed that Adonijah would be the next king upon the death of David. And he wasn't. Solomon was made king. And Bathsheba, she was Solomon's wife. But if we go into the scripture text and find out what means had brought them together, in these days, we would have viewed that relationship between between David and Bathsheba as toxic because she had a husband. David had children, wives, concubines, and everything. And he saw Bathsheba taking a bath on the rooftop, and he wanted her. And he had her husband killed in order to cover up or mask the affair that he had. Did she have much choice? Probably not. But that's rape. That's date rape. And yet it went on by this man, King David, who was a man after God's own heart. We fall down, we get up, and we seek salvation. So Solomon was the child of this woman, Bathsheba, and King David. The first child that they were having together was sick at birth, and the child died. And that was deemed the punishment to King David for taking Bathsheba the way that he did. So the Lord suffered him. Was that an appropriate penalty? For the Lord it was, because vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I will pay. And so that was his punishment for taking Bathsheba the way that he did. And like I said, in these days and times, that's date rape. So here we are, Solomon and Bathsheba. And it seems Solomon was furious with indignation that his mother would ask him such a thing. He's got enough odds against him the way that his parents came together. She, being his mother, should know and empathize with him with regard. However, she asked anyway. So what does that say about that? We know that Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived, and they said there will never be another man in the earth after him as wise. Me being a woman, I am wise. So Solomon addressed the issue with Adonijah directly to his mother, saying, well, give him the kingdom. He seemed indignant that his mother would even entertain a request from his half brother. And for what he was asking, his mother should have understood not to even bring anything like that to him. We have to understand all various perspectives. Solomon understood the perspective his mother was coming from, as well as Adonijah, and that both perspectives were against him. And he had the proper perspective about this in the Lord because he had been made king by God. That's something to think about. The way that what is on someone's mind, the way that a person addresses us, the things that people say, what leads them to say certain things or behave certain ways. What is their personal interest in it and asking? Maybe Bathsheba was a little frightened and timid. I mean, after all, she had been taken from her husband to be with King David. And it was a violent abduction. Her husband was killed in the process. And she's asking Solomon for a faith for a concubine whom she had just put up with. Being the wife, she had to deal with. David was with this woman whenever he wanted to be with this woman, had kids with this woman, and this woman wasn't going anywhere. Yet she did not have the favor to get a good wife for her own son. And her son went to the king's mother, the former king's wife, legitimate persons in his life, to ask for his illegitimacy to be favored. That wasn't right, was it? Well, that's all we have to say about that. You all have a great day.